I am going to outline, or at least summarize what we're going to cover today. It's the getting started, so no need to panic or anything like that. Let me share my screen again. Usually I'm better organized than this, but technology. All right. Anyway, I will just go on the fly. All right. Hello, welcome you all. Welcome everyone to
Howdy.
CIS 119DO, basically an intro to database. Basically, we have a semester long full of exercises and hopefully I won't bore you too much. What my goal is, and I will both share the slides that I create and this recording in Canvas. So we're going to walk through some of the structure of the course. But before I get to that, I do want to welcome you all and go through some introductions. So I'm not just looking at a wall of names and wow, I'm glad I got a lot of faces. Normally I don't see as many faces. So I feel like I'm just talking two names. So I'm Dwight Ferris, your instructor for this journey through databases. No worries about SQL and all that. We're going to walk through that tonight so that you're set to go for, to run your first queries, et cetera, et cetera. A brief introduction. I've been teaching for about 10 years now, 11 years. I primarily teach at Grand Canyon University, department head, program lead, in the College of Engineering and Technology. I was in industry. Yes, I was in industry a long time, about 30 years. I've done everything. I started in the era where you mentioned the word technology and then you became an expert and you spoke your own language. So I've done everything from systems engineering, electroengineering, cybersecurity, cryptography. I worked for the government. I was in the military. I'm a combat veteran, and all of the stuff that that you can experience through a lifetime. I've done most of it. So I'm settling down, making an attempt to, deliver some of my experience to curious students such as yourself. I enjoy teaching. I started out teaching this class. This is like my 7th year teaching this class. I started out teaching it in person, and then we all know COVID hit, and we retreated behind the screens. And since everyone enjoyed it, well, we do have some on-campus version of this course, I think, but basically we're teaching this. Now, I guess we're teaching this course with this live online. It's probably one of the few that are left that are live online. So what I'd like for you all to do is just provide a brief introduction, what you want to do with this course and the program you're in, et cetera. If you want to live in the Midwest instead of in Arizona, especially after the last weekend, you can comment on that. I have family back in the Midwest, and they're still blaming me for moving out here when I did. So anyway, let's go through some brief introductions so we can get to meet each other, and I'll get to meet you, and we'll just go from there. So I'm going to start with Garrett, since you're just about ready to to provide your introductions. Please go ahead, sir.
I'm Garrett Para. I've taken this class because I want to learn more about AI and stuff. I like playing video games, watch football with my grandfather. Um, I like to read books. That's about it.
All right, so since you mentioned football, everyone's gonna have to pick Seattle or New England Super Bowl. You're gonna have to pick one
New
that
England.
will determine what your grade will be. So if you don't pick the team that I want, that means your grade's gonna go down. So it's a Super Bowl, so I don't care if you like football or not, you're gonna have to pick a team since we know who's playing. So Garrett, who do you like in the Super Bowl?
New England.
Ah, you're out. Okay, Richard, you're up.
Hi, my name is Richard. I'm taking this class to go for AI as well. Go for the bachelor's, or at least trying to. Um, don't really do much. I work and then I just take care of the animals at home here that I have one dog and four cats.
Oh, I was gonna say animals. Is that human animals or type of
They
animals?
they act like it. They're
Yeah,
spoiled.
I figured. All right, so which team?
Seahawks.
All right, I like Richard. Okay, Maria, you're up.
Hi, my name's Maria, and if sometimes you hear like a cat meowing, it's because I'm changing her food, and sometimes she gets really angry because wants better food, I guess.
Yeah, those pets
Um,
become humans. You people spoil them too much.
I
But
know.
anyway, thank you. So which team?
For me, I don't watch sports at all.
I know, but you have to pick a team. It's the Super Bowl. Seattle,
Okay, what are the two teams?
Seattle or New England? Seahawks or Patriots?
Mm, Seahawks.
All right. Okay. Okay, you have to help me pronounce your name because
Oh, you
I'm.
can give it a try.
Oh no! Don't put me on the spot. Aprilia.
Aprilia.
Aprilius. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All
Yes,
right.
sir. You can actually call me Leah. That's a nickname. It's
Leah.
way.
Okay. Pew. All right.
Yes, thank you. I I'm taking this class because I'm in the whole I'm in this section of my degree. I'm pursuing cybersecurity. That's my cat ripping at my bed, if you can hear that. And I have cats as well. I like to read. I really enjoy computers and I'm really excited to learn about AI because I'm really fascinated in all of the negative consequences of it and how we're accepting it in our society and what it's going to do to us.
Right.
Uh,
Now we're just to distill any concerns. We're going to basically learn about accessing data, which is the kind of the footprint and the foundation of understanding machine learning and AI. But primarily, the purpose of this course is to introduce you into the manipulation and management of data, and as it's associated. It's not well. It is directly correlated with AI. We don't have I have a few in here, but later on in the semester, I'll talk about the connection of data to how it's changing the world, which is the root of AI, pretty much.
yeah, and it's crazy, like all the data they collect on us. That's why
Oh,
I'm really
yes.
excited to like learn about it.
Yes, lots of data. Okay, Daniel, you're up.
Hey, my name's Daniel Pellegrino, and uh, taking this class and kind of going for more so like IT infrastructure. I like playing around with computers and servers and connecting everything and making sure they can all talk together because at the end of the day, the robots won't take that job, and everyone needs it for everything else to communicate.
Well, at least for now, don't dismiss the whole
Yeah,
robot
true.
thing.
True, true. We
Cybernetics.
could, we might already be in the Matrix, so.
Yeah, yep.
But
So Leah, you did not pick a team, or did you? Did you pick a team?
No, but I'll say the Seahawks because I actually like I know them, but I don't know them.
Okay, well, that's good. Daniel, your
and
team, please. We have to get
yep,
this over with.
the Patriots have won way too much, so I'm going Seahawks.
All right, thank you. Okay, Jose, you're up. Oh, I can't hear you. Can anyone hear him? You're
I
unmuted.
can't hear him.
We can't hear you. Uh-oh. Technology. All right, we'll have Jose work on his technology. Go ahead, Evan.
All right, so my name is Evan Del Rio. The reason I'm taking this class is because I am pursuing the bachelor's degree in IT that is being offered at Phoenix College. And for my free time, what I've really been doing is when I do get that time, first off, I've been trying to take better care of my health and go to the gym more often. So
Good
that's
for
just
you.
because not really so much a hobby as much as it is just, trying to take advantage of the time I have. And then the other thing I like to do is I've actually been trying to write a book when I get the opportunity to. Don't have a lot of time to do that, but when I get the chance to, I like to do that stuff.
Okay.
And when it comes to football, Seahawks, no question.
All right. There you go.
I'm not a Patriots fan, not in the slightest.
Yeah.
Never have been, never will be.
All right. Okay, Jordan, you're up.
Taking this class. I originally started out in web development, but my interest with data lately has been I'm moving more towards working with computer related things in the archaeology field, and there's a lot of work to be done with databasing artifacts as well as imaging and mapping and whatnot. So that's kind of where my interest is. But,
Yep, absolutely right.
and as far as Super Bowl, I'm Seahawks.
All right, cool. And last but not least, save the best for last, right, Alan? Go ahead. Well, Jose, wait, before we go, Jose, do you have a functionality with your microphone? Nope. Okay, that's a failure for you. You have to work on that for next class. So you can introduce yourself. But you can give me a thumbs up if you're going for the Seahawks. Thumbs down if you go for the Patriots. Okay, good. Okay, Alan, you're up, sir.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Alan. I'm taking this class because I'm pursuing the bachelor's degree in AI technology and machine learning. Um, and Seahawks. Yeah, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Great.
Just-
All right. So
yeah.
it's good to hear that you're all interested in machine learning and AI. You're going to get essentially the first piece of understanding data. And it is very important because generally people don't remember that all of what we think is our artificial intelligence is associated with tons of data. As Leah, I think you said that, or Maria, one of you. It's just a ton of data and you have to know how to manage that. So I'm glad you all have that connection. All right. So the next thing I'm just going to walk through, you're all familiar with Canvas, right? I'm going to walk through the course, basically provide an overview of what I'm expecting. And yes, I just took attendance, woohoo. So that you have a good idea, and it's not a big mystery, what the expectations are. All right, can you all see my little Canvas? Now this is the instructor view, so it may look a little bit different, but we're going to walk through the modules anyway, or at least the first module. I don't want to walk through all the modules that'll eliminate some of the excitement. All right, so ignore that top section. So when you log in, you should see the student resources, and this should
Nothing
not
is appearing on your screen if you're trying to share a screen.
Uh-oh. Oh, maybe I should click the button. How's that?
Yeah, there it is.
Wow, look at that. I know what I'm doing. Woohoo, barely. Sometimes I forget. So, all right, so we can all see Canvas, right? The Canvas, this course is divided into modules. We're going to get into module 1 this week. Hopefully by the end of, let's see, who just showed up? Daniel?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you moved down there. Quit switching places. Oh, you turn your camera off now. You can turn it off if you like, but
My apologies. I was brought dinner, so I'm going to eat really quick.
okay, yeah, we don't want you. But all of a sudden you were blank, and then but anyway, yeah, you can turn your camera off unless you're going to virtually share your dinner with us. Anyway, back to Canvas. The Chandler Gilbert resources as far as digital resources, how to use Canvas, email on Canvas. Does anyone have any questions about this kind of section you've probably seen before? It's pretty straightforward. Student life and leadership. Ooh, welcome to college life. And we're all working adults, right? We don't have any young, very young, traditional, what we call students. But anyway, so make sure if you need any of that information, it is useful. It taps to many of the resources available. All right. So getting to our course, there's a getting started section, and probably that's where you want to start. There's a nice little welcome. It talks about basically your experience at Chandler Gilbert and some other, pointing out some other resources. It's always useful to recognize where that is. And if you move, yes, you can navigate using the little makes and previous. And then there's my little introduction, all the things that I've done, well, an abbreviation. Office hours, I do want to point this out. I want to try and hold office hours right before and right after, unless it's too late, because my bedtime's pretty early. So if we go too late, I'm just have to cut you off. We'll have to meet in the morning, because I have like a 40-minute commute, and I may fall asleep, and then you'll have a new instructor, and that's not so good. But if you're available before, because we're going to start promptly at 6, and this is the last day that I had well, I didn't have to go to 5:30. I had, very curious students. So either before or after class, and I do have, if you look at the syllabus, and you all did, or most of you did, and that's another thing I'm going to talk about, I do have an office hours for you all on Wednesday in the middle of the day. So yes, this is me. You can read my little narrative here. I've done a lot. I've been many places. Now I'm here. All right. Expectations, pretty much the same. Basically, I just require you to, well, hopefully you all have the minimum, well, maybe not Jose. I'm going to pick on him now because he can't talk back. But you'll have the minimum requirements as far as your systems, right? So, you can download and install the SQL developer and all that. The appropriate RAM and et cetera. So, and minimum computer skills, yeah. We all are aware that there's an on and off button and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to go into basic computing, but those expectations are always, and you're in a technology field. All right, so moving on. This course is a part of the Oracle Academy per se, and basically Oracle provides a way for you to become certified with a series of courses that are offered here at Chandler Gilbert. This is the first, and I've taught all of these, so this is probably the easiest. I will let you know. But if you want to be certified, be an Oracle database certified individual, basically you can apply for that certification. I don't think there used to be a test, but I think they got rid of that. But you just have to complete all 4 of the courses and you can get the certification. And there's more information on that on this page. And you can also email our program head, Professor Rayappa Prima, and she can provide additional information for you. All right, so that's a certification, Oracle Academy. Very, very useful. As I said, I don't think they require you to take the exam anymore, but I think that's old. That's kind of outdated. But as I said, you can find more information about that. I'm not an advocate, to be honest, of industry certs, but they can be useful if you want to move into any type of particular discipline as far as using, especially Oracle, which is still pretty much a prominent part of the database industry. So we do have textbooks. They're not required, so don't try and run out and buy them. You can't even find these anymore, to be honest. But they do have useful baseline information. if you go to the Oracle website, you can have access to these old 12C versions of Oracle. And as far as SQL, they're still applicable, but you really don't need them for this course. You don't really need them for the other courses either, I'll just mention, but since they're a resource that are offered by Oracle, and so that it's been the same resource as long as I've been teaching the course, we need to update that. I'll just comment on that, but I'm told let's just stick with the resources that we have available. All right, the syllabus quiz. I mean, how many of you have completed the syllabus quiz? You all should be raising your hand. But if you haven't, this is required. As a matter of fact, I'm supposed to, I don't know if it's enforce or suggest strongly, basically to solidify your enrollment in the class, you have to do something in the first 3 or 4 days. Well, the first week, technically. So please, and it's pretty straightforward. You know where the syllabus is housed, the concourse syllabus, and I'm pretty sure you all can view the concourse syllabus, right? Or unless, those of you that completed it just guessed, and you guessed all the answers correctly. So, but I'm hoping you didn't do that. So just access the syllabus. What was that?
Oh, sorry. I guess my mic
Oh,
works
look at
now.
that. Jose's alive. Woohoo, give him a hand.
I actually I did have a question about the
No, you have to
syllabus.
introduce yourself first, we'll see.
Oh, okay,
You can't just go right into asking questions. Please.
Okay,
Come on.
fine. Sorry. So my name is Jose Delgado. I currently work in the IT field as a network engineer. And I'm taking this course for my bachelor's in information technology through Phoenix College.
Good.
And Seahawks. Let's go.
All right, thank you. You gained some good points there. So we're mostly Seahawks. Well, except for Derek, but that's all right. All right, so now you can ask your question.
So my question was, so I try to open the concourse syllabus, and for some reason, I get an error.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if anybody else is getting an error, but it says could not verify ID token.
I
State
do
not
know
found.
that sometimes it doesn't work if you use Safari, and that like
Yes.
Chrome and Firefox are the best to use.
So thank you, Leah. You get this thumbs up. Do not use Safari for concourse. Do not. Do Chrome
that's good to know.
or even the Microsoft version, but not Safari.
Okay.
It just will not.
Okay.
Do you want the technical explanation for that?
No,
Okay, good.
I've dealt with that in the past, so I know it's understandable.
All right, so yes, it will work in any other browser.
Okay.
Hopefully, you're not going to go Firefox. It won't work in Firefox either. Just do Chrome and whatever the Windows one is. I don't use what is it called?
Edge.
Edge. Yeah.
I mean, I use Opera and it works fine for me.
Oh well. Opera is great. Yeah, Opera is probably the most.
I think Opera is based on like Chrome.
Yeah,
I think it's based off of that, so that's probably why it works.
It's a Chromium browser, so
it's
not really that different. But anyway,
yeah, no.
we can talk tech all night. I can just go forever. But let's get back to our course. All right. So please complete the syllabus quiz. It's just a way to solidify your enrollment. Not a big deal. Just look at it. You can even open the quiz and well, if you have 2 monitors, I have 4 monitors. So open the quiz and just answer okay, I don't have 4 monitors. I have a laptop and anyway, who asked me that? So anyway, complete the quiz. It will be open. I'm keeping it open until the weekend, but the due date is actually Friday, right? So get it out of the way, solidify your enrollment. We can move forward. Okay. All right. Okay. So how many of you have, well, let's see. Where do I have the credentials? There's somewhere. We'll get to that. How many of you tried downloading the SQL Developer from Oracle?
I opened it just now and said access denied for me.
For me, I'm having trouble understanding which one I'm supposed to download. I mean, obviously there are some I can easily write off, like the MacBook ones and all that, but like there's the one where it says it's an attachment to Visual Studio Code, and
All
And
right,
there's
so
another one underneath it.
so
And basically,
yeah,
the
so
first two options are the ones I'm confused. Like, do I have to get Visual Studio Code and then
okay,
the SQL,
Evan,
or do I get the one below?
I'm gonna walk you through. So basically that link in there on this page takes you to the current, it's still the current version, 24.3.1. Just click on that link, or you can even Google Oracle SQL Developer. It should take you to the download page, which looks like this, right? Does everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
The chat keeps, stupid chat pods are everywhere. All right, so you have to determine your operating system now. The first one that's displaying because Oracle is trying to sell you on VS Code. It's kind of a different version. I would not recommend it. I would stick with just the 64-bit with JDK. The second one, if you're on Windows, okay. This one, the second one.
So it is the
Now-
second one. Okay.
Now, the third one is the 32-bit, 64-bit. Hopefully you won't have to choose this one because you all have 64-bit systems. And if you don't think you do, then you probably do. But just choose the second one because this will add the JDK engine, which is what you'll need for the next course anyway. Now, if you're a VS Code, Visual Studio Code, if you're a programmer, in any aspects of it, or a web developer, you can download this version. It's a little bit different. It's kind of the open source. I would just stick with the developer 64-bit JDK included. Let's go ahead and download that. Click the down. That's Windows. Windows. Did I say that? Windows. Now, if you're on a Mac, actually, now you do have to determine how many of you are using a Mac. Now, are you in the ARM infrastructure, or are you old school back to Intel? Meaning, do you have an M chip or do you have an Intel chip? It makes a difference.
M chip. I have an M chip.
Do you have an M chip, Leah? So you want to download the ARM version, Mac ARM 64, please. You download the other one, it may work, but it probably will not work. No, actually, it won't work. You probably prove me wrong. But anyway, download the ARM. You should know about ARM since you bought the M chips. Do you have an M? What version of the M chip do you have, Jose?
I believe
Don't say M2.
M1.
M1? Oh, you need to grow
Yeah.
that thing up. You have to graduate it to at least an M3 or 4. Anyway, M1.
Eventually.
Well, okay. Hopefully, we had some issues with M1 and M2, so just to let you know, and it shouldn't bother you with SQL Developer, but yeah, still download the ARM version. Is anyone using Linux? Do we have any super techs? You're all wimpy then.
It's
So much
installed on
happened.
the computer, but I use Windows for mostly everything class related because it's easier and it works.
And so if you use Linux, I would applaud you. Say, way to go. Will you see Linux in industry? No, but that doesn't matter. You can impress some hiring manager. Tell them you know all about Ubuntu. But anyway, I digress. And then other platforms, there's just anything else. Arc or there's other operating systems you all know, right? So, and the Oracle SQL Developer is truly OS agnostic, which means it runs on anything. All right, so download it, do the install is really takes only a few minutes. The download, depending upon your network speed and all that, it's relatively robust, 17 gigs or something like that. So hopefully you do have enough space on your drive. I'm not going to download it because I already have it. See this little icon here. And I'm going to open this. And I did update this. So this is the actual new version. And we're going to walk through this just so hopefully you're either doing this now or you've done this. So the landing page looks something like this when you download and install. Now, if you get anything different than what this, you can all see this, right? There
Yeah,
shouldn't be
I can
anything
see.
different. This particular platform is pretty straightforward. okay, I can go into a lot of horror stories about dealing with Oracle and PeopleSoft back in the day. This is nothing. So if you get this installed, no big deal. What you have to worry about, and hopefully we're going to get there, you do have specific credentials, and it's not like you have this, well, it's separate instances of the same cloud rendering, but you do have to, and I want to ask you, and we're going to get to that point. What I assigned you, please use that login, because I don't want you to be messing it up your classmates or anything like that. That's my job. I'm going to go in and compromise all your database systems. So no one else is allowed to do that. I can monitor your work. But anyway, so I'm going to minimize this. So download, please, 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 please. And that's actually the first assignment anyway. We're going to get to that. Make sure you download and get it ready, because we're going to start running queries next week. No chance to take a break. All right. So speaking of credentials, that should be coming up. Look at that. Pretty magic. So I posted this image, and yes, it's just an image, so you can't change. And I know who's who, although Jose, you added the class later, so that's why your font's a little bit different. It's not because you're a troublemaker, and I had to throw you in there, but this is your username, and it's all caps and 01, etc. And it was initially by the alphabet, but as I said, Jose threw off the whole thing, so he has to go at the bottom. So this is what you'll use, and the password, this is the password. That's ORA lowercase _ $SP uppercase 2026. This is what you're going to use, and I'm going to show you in an easy way. So once you get the download, I would just click on this is my troubleshooting head, file, and wait. What was I? No, that's the harder way. I forgot myself. I forgot what I was doing. Here's my properties. Yeah. All right, you see this little plus here?
Yes.
Green plus. You want to click that, it'll open up this database connection pop-up. Okay. Click on the plus, and you want to enter in. I'm already logged in. And we're going to get to the specification page, but click on the plus, and you're going to enter in that username that I assigned you and that password. There's other parameters as well where you will see that, and please follow the instructions. The next page, this is where the lecture is going to be. We have this dialog box instructions. So you want to follow this. So the connection name is ORCL, all lowercase. The host name is the CGITI, because we have a specific instance dedicated for us for basically all Maricopa students. And the port has to be 1521, and the SID has to be the same as the connection name. So this is where you get all that general information. Enter it in to that dialog box, pop-up box, and then make sure you test the connection first. Test the connection, it'll say success, and then you connect. And then once you connect, it should bring up a query builder page, and you should also be able to, and this is what I want in the screenshot, I want you to basically expand the ORCL instance, and then just the tables. So I want you to take a screenshot of this and submit it. You can have the welcome page or the ORCL page, but as long as the ORCL instance is active based on your credentials, you're good to go. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, that makes sense. You want us to make sure that we're in the database, that we're right here with where we're going to be doing all our stuff.
Exactly. So take a screenshot of this. That's all you need for this assignment coming up. So, and that's very important, because at that point, I know, they're ready to go. I can put them to work, and I don't have to worry about them not completing their assignments. Now we're going to get back to those videos, and they're probably pretty boring, but we're going to watch them anyway. But as I said, this install Oracle SQL Developer, that's your first assignment. You have until Sunday. So please complete it. And all you need to do, I have 2 screenshots here. I'm not going to be that picky. One's the welcome page, one's the SQL Developer. Just if you show me the SQL Developer with the table, with the table is expanded, I'm good with that. And you don't have to do anything else with Oracle with Developer. You're ready to go. If your developer looks like this, you have all of these tables, and we're going to talk about tables and what they mean and all the fun stuff you can do with SQL Developer, like clicking on the table and seeing that. Don't jump ahead, don't get ahead of me, but we're gonna look into all of that fun stuff a little bit later. But please complete that first assignment and the syllabus quiz. And I think there's one other thing. Was there one other thing that's due this week?
Oh, we have a module 1 quiz. That's what I saw.
Oh yeah, I was getting to that. Yeah, who did the quiz already? Is that you, Garrett? Did you do the quiz?
Yes.
Okay, that's all right. You did pretty good. All right, so anyway, yes, there are 3 things that are due. Oh, I have it red. How did that turn red? Anyway, essentially make sure you make a note of which one of these are yours, because I am going to track that. Because I can check everyone to make sure you're signing into the right one. And if you're not, I'll just delete you, and you won't be able to run SQL Developer, and you'll fail the class. I'm sorry, because you don't follow instructions. That's one of my rules. Just follow instructions, you'll be fine. Anyway, make sure you can take a picture of that or whatever. You use your account. And then there's the assignment, the install SQL Developer, and then yes, as Garrett pointed out, there is a quiz. The quiz, it's a little tricky. I'm not expecting everyone to get 100% on it. Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's the first quiz. It's 20 points. It's a very small part of your total grade. Just do the best you can. Most of the questions are pretty straightforward. Am I going to give you a hint on the answers? No. Sorry. We will review it next week just to make sure everyone understands. I'll give you a hint, one hint. When you select information from a database, it's just a projection. So there, that should help you answer one. It's a crazy way to think about it, but it's just a projection. You're not really selecting anything. You're projecting what's in the table. Yeah. All right. So any questions about module 1 and the requirements before we watch a couple of videos? Remember, let's review a couple things before I get into the videos. The 3 things are required: syllabus quiz, do that right away, get it out of the way. The install SQL Developer, I must do that because that way I know you're ready to go. And then the quiz. A couple other things that I want to point out in the first module, and we're going to talk about what this means, but you do have a representation of the tables. Begin to develop an intuition what that means. I'm pretty sure most of you know. Well, let me ask, how many of you know data and databases to some degree, just even a minor way? Yeah, so if you don't, yeah, well, you'll be pretty sufficient in your knowledge after this. So tables, I'm going to talk about that a little bit more as we go through some of the lessons, but there's a representation there. And then, and please don't panic about this. This particular diagram is called an entity relationship diagram, or ERD. It is another representation of what we call our schema. Ooh, I'm throwing some big terms at you. Hopefully you're taking notes. So the schema represents what the structure of the database, and you need to begin to develop kind of an idea of what that means. And so this ERD gives you the connections, and we're going to talk about cardinality and relationship and how this was all created. Yes, I remember when everything was one big table or one big file. We did not have this organizational structure. So just glance over this, say, well, I kind of understand somewhat, but we will go into understanding what this means, what all the particular parts of it are, and how they can be used to understand a database. Because then, if you're wanting to be a database analyst, which is pretty much the predecessor of understanding machine learning and AI, you have to understand the infrastructure of the data you're dealing with. So, all right, I'm going to talk about that a lot. All right, so those are two things that are in there. So we're going to take a breath. We're going to loop back to, because I want to make sure that you all understand what data is. That's going to be our first video. And this is pulled from YouTube, no big deal. But we're going to learn the fundamentals, or at least get an idea of the fundamentals of what data is. Now, the reason why this is important, because everyone's thinking, well, I kind of know what data is. Well, most people don't know what data really is. They think it's everything. Well, it is, and it isn't. As far as the structure of data and data fundamentals, which is what you need to truly understand, we're gonna get into that right now. So here we go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be starting our Data Fundamentals series. Now in this series, I'm going to be walking through some really core fundamental concepts about data. If you've been on my YouTube channel for any amount of time, you know that we talk a lot about data, specifically about how to use tools to work with your data. But up until now, I haven't really dived in and broken down the core concepts of what data is and how it's used in the real world. So in this series, that's what I aim to do. And in this video, we're going to be starting off with what is data. Let's jump over to my screen and take a look. All right, so in this lesson, we're going to be talking about what data is. Again, we're starting from the very basics. We're really working our way up through this series. So by definition, data is just raw facts and figures. It doesn't even necessarily have to be on a computer. It could be on a notepad. If you're writing down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is data that you're writing down. That's going to be harder to use that data necessarily because, on a computer, it's easier to process and use data, but that is data. Some examples of data are things like a number, the number 45, that is a piece of data. A word could be data, just the word completed, or a sentence, that is also data. And then a date could be data as well. So we have 12/10 of 2024. This is a piece of data. Now, the thing about data is that data is everywhere. It's in everything we do all the time, but without collecting it, without context of what this data actually means, it's basically useless. Look at some examples of how data is used in the real world, something that a lot of you will use almost every single day. So let's take a look at this first one. This is a weather app. I use my weather app almost all the time. I got to send my kids to school and I want to check if it's rainy, if it's hot, if it's cold, if they need a jacket, if they don't. And that is something that requires a lot of data. Meteorologists use tools to collect data on all of these things. Then they're presented in these apps. So they collect data about weather, temperature, humidity, location, time, and they take all of this and they aggregate it. That just means they bring all of it together into one place and they aggregate these numbers. And finally, they'll present it to you based off of your data, your location, where you actually are. And so that is something that is extremely data dependent. They typically will process this as well as forecast, which means they're going to kind of predict out what they think is going to happen in the next hour, 2 hours, maybe it's a day or several days ahead. They can also use this data to predict what might happen in your location. Another example would be a bank app. So I go on my phone all the time to check my banking statements to make sure that, I didn't spend too much money, and everything in your banking app is data. And so when you go on this app, like you can see in this image down here, you can see where you spent your money. You can see the amount you spent your money, the date and the time that you spent your money. These are all different points of data that the bank has collected. Banks collect hundreds, if not thousands of data points, but really common ones are things like bank deposits and transactions and payments that you've made, all of these things so they can put it in your dashboard so that you can track your money. Now let's take a look at different types of data because there isn't just one type of data. Data isn't just one thing. Data is really complex and there's a lot of different things to it. So really briefly, I'm going to touch on structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. Structured data is really neat and really easy to visualize and see, as you can see in this image right here. That typically refers to something that has columns and rows, something like an Excel file. Everybody's used an Excel file before, and so that is something that is very structured, very easy to kind of visualize and use and understand. On the exact opposite side of this, we have unstructured data. Unstructured data is kind of all over the place, and it might be a lot harder to use. For example, that could be something like a photograph that you took, or maybe a video or an audio file. These are all examples of unstructured data that you can't really put into something like an Excel file for it to be in columns and rows. Then we have something called semi-structured data. Semi-structured data is closer to structured data than it is unstructured data, but it is more complex than something like an Excel file. For example, semi-structured data might be something like a JSON file. Now, we haven't gotten to file formats and file types yet in this series, but when we do, I'll dive into what JSON files are, because JSON files store things differently than something like structured data, where they nest data in kind of these hierarchies. Let's take a look at the two main ones, structured versus unstructured data. Structured data is the data that I primarily work with as a data analyst. This is typically going to be something like a row and column in an Excel file or a CSV file, or in something like a relational database. A database is just a place where you'll store a lot of data, and all of that data typically connects in some way, so you can work with a lot of it. Structured data is also quantitative versus qualitative, like unstructured data. Structured data is numbers-based and it's measurable, and so you can easily kind of track it and use it. Whereas qualitative could be something like a survey where it might be free text, where it's someone saying, you know, I had a really great experience at this and I really liked this and I liked this. That's a little bit harder to actually put into numbers how much that person liked. But quantitative may be, hey, how much did you like this on a scale of 1 to 10? And if the person puts a 7, that's a very specific answer. Now, the amount of data that sits as structured data is significantly less than unstructured data. Structured data is only about 20% of enterprise data compared to 80% of unstructured data. And so there's a lot more unstructured data in the world. And so what a lot of people in the data world do is they try to take that unstructured data and they try to make it structured. And so that is a big part of what a lot of data professionals do. Lastly, and we just touched on this, but structured data tends to be things like numbers, dates, strings, which are things like words and text, versus unstructured data, which is things like images, audio, video, and others. All that being said, data is everywhere. It is all around us all the time, and especially in this technological world we live in, it is literally in everything we do. But the challenge, especially for people in data who are working with data, the challenge is to collect it, to organize and analyze it so that you can then use that data. And so we're going to be covering a lot of these different topics in this series so that you can understand exactly what it is and how we can. Thank you guys for joining in on the very first Data Fundamentals video. We will have more like this. Thank you guys.
All right, so that's primarily fundamental, but the concepts highlighted by Alex is that, yes, we really truly need to understand what data is and what data is not. And one of the main purpose of this class is to help you organize your version, or at least organize your thoughts around data from a fundamental perspective. So any questions about a little experience with Alex? I do want to throw something else at you, and this may be a little bit confusing, but this is essentially the fundamentals of the relational database model of which we are dealing with in our little database example throughout our course, which kind of it truly replicates a small business, if you may. And we're going to manipulate it, we're going to do things with it, and but the whole concept of normalization, I decided to do this early as opposed to later to kind of give you an idea of how this whole relational database model, structure or infrastructure came about. So let's see, I don't think this is too long. If it gets too boring, everyone starts turning their camera off, I'll just stop it. I'll yell at you or something, but it is
probability factor of 1 to 1. We have normality. I repeat, we have normality. Anything you still can't cope with is therefore your own problem. Welcome to this video on database normalization. My name is Kevin Fiesel. I'm the proprietor of Catalaxy Services LLC, a consulting firm which specializes in work all across the data platform space, especially SQL Server. We're taking a little break from Azure Machine Learning here on the channel, though I will get back to it again in the future. For the next few weeks, I'd like to talk about a topic near and dear to my heart, database normalization. This series of videos builds off of a talk that I deliver. This talk is called Perfectly Normal, an advanced primer on normalization. And I will tell you up front, this will get fairly advanced and there will be a bit of formal logic involved because ultimately this is an academic topic.
Oops. I promise you that he does get a little crazy. So we probably will not watch the whole video, at least now. But I do want you to understand normalization is important. I like him because he has good information, but if he starts to bore me, I'm just going to shut him off. So sit back and enjoy.
You have been warned. Right. So, I do want to call out some great resources up front that have helped me put together my thoughts on the topic. The first one is Database Design and Relational Theory, Normal Forms and All That Jazz, 2nd edition, by C.J. Date. This book is outstanding at digging into the details of normalization, and Date tries to straddle the line between the ivory tower, pointy-headed academic world and the rough workaday world of professional symbol manipulators. My purpose in this series is to take Date's work and push it a little further in the direction of ease of understanding at the loss of some of the academic rigor. The next book I'll call out is Pro SQL Server Relational Database Design and Implementation by Lewis Davidson. Lewis's book was instrumental in helping me get an initial understanding of database normalization, and I can highly recommend his book. I can also recommend the talk he delivered at Data Architecture Day 2020, which the Triangle Area SQL Server Users Group hosted. I'll have a link to that in the description. It's also available on my channel. The final book recommendation I'm going to make here is The Handbook of Relational Database Design by Candace Fleming and Barbara von Halle. My friend Grant Fritchie originally recommended this book as one of the clearest explanations of normalization, and I wholeheartedly concur. Yes, this book is from 1989, so there's a decent chance it's older than you are, dear viewer, but pick up a copy anyway, because it's still a top-tier book. At least until you get to the implementation part, which is intended for late 1980s Oracle and DB2. You have my permission to skip that stuff. Okay, accolades out of the way, let's get down to business. Hello there. Welcome to this class on database normalization. If you believe any of the following things, you belong here. First, normalization isn't relevant in the business world. Second, if you have ever used the quotation, normalize until it hurts, denormalize until it works, take a seat. I hate that quotation with the fiery passion of 1,000 suns. Third, if you think that the primary reason that you normalize data is that it minimizes the amount of data you lay out on disk, come on down. Fourth, if your answer to the question of database design is throw more of other people's money at it, you should stick around for a while. Fifth, if you think that getting to third normal form is all you need to know about normalization, we still have some seats up here in the front. And sixth, if you actually think third normal form matters, welcome to class, we'll fix that. Now, because example is the school of mankind, and they will learn it no other, we are going to need an example. Our example is a music studio responsible for managing artists, cutting albums, distributing albums, performing digital marketing, these sorts of things. This particular studio is working on a centralized database system, but the thing is that their application developers don't have much experience. That's why they've brought us in. We're going to teach them how to do things the right way. Let's first define what we mean by normalization. Normalization is a set of logical rules and processes that we follow to improve a database's design. It's important for us to note that normalization works off of the logical data model. From there, we can, at least theoretically, adapt the work we've done on the logical data model to a physical data model for implementation. I think it's fair to ask at this point, why do we need both logical and physical data models? What's the difference, and why not just have one of them? Well, good question, rhetorical me, even though you slipped 3 questions in there. Let's start at the beginning with the impetus behind any database. Some business need. This need might be something like, I need a place to store all the accounting data for this company, or I need to track the status of help desk tickets. We have a need to store data, and hence we need a database. Now we move into the next phase. What does that database look like? That's where we, as data platform professionals, start grilling people and figuring out what it is that we need to store. As we get a better understanding of the domain, we can flesh out what sorts of data elements we need to collect and how those elements fit together. This is the realm of the logical data model. We call it a logical data model because we are not going to bother ourselves with specifics about any database management system. We're also not going to care about how the database performs, how we're going to lay data out on disk, or what mechanisms users will have to query that data later. Instead, we focus on making sure that our data model matches the needs and desires of the customer, and that we have as complete a picture as we possibly can get. Once we have that logical data model.
Okay, I'm tired of them. Sorry.
I will say the first part, at least I got that, at least the idea. Logical rules to improve the design.
Thank you, Evan. We will get to normalization and a better definition. He's actually pretty good. He gets to more useful information later. I didn't realize he was going to recommend textbooks, and we're not even using SQL Server. But anyway, don't worry. You don't need to know that information in any detail yet. And we will talk about normalization as we go. Yeah, I can only take so much of the whole academic. Wait a minute, I guess I'm in it myself. But anyway, I do want to try and make sure that all of the information that I provide for you will be very useful and somewhat entertaining. Well, maybe not that entertaining, but the fact is most of us have been working all day, right? So who doesn't work? If you don't work, then I'm going to have to drop you out of class. You know, you have to have a job to be in this class. Now, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't challenge you that way. But anyway, I do want to try and keep the class moving along. My philosophy is if I can keep you engaged for an hour and a half, that's plenty of time for you to grasp the concepts that I'm trying to convey to you. So I certainly want to start off on a good note, and especially since Jose got his mic to work. That was a big worry for me, but he came through. We are missing a couple people, but hopefully they will show up. The one thing that CGCC is trying to do, because we've had a problem, just to let you know, with ghost students that are appearing, maybe it's AI, maybe it's something else, but students that are appearing in enrollment and having, paid and all of that, and they never show up. So I don't know if that's a reality that we have to deal with, because I have 2 that I need to be concerned of, because we're supposed to drop you all right away if you don't at least do one of the exercises. All right, so I do want to open it up for questions about what I'm required for this first week. I also want to mention that we will have a day off, believe it or not. Well, we have a couple. We have President's Day. We will not meet that day. And then we have spring break, which I know that's way in the future, but we will not meet that week. But I think I have an assignment for you while you're at the beach or whatever. I know that's not fair, but I have to throw it somewhere. And I think I have an assignment for you at President's Day week as well. But we'll see. We'll see how good of students you are. If you're procrastinators, you're lacking, and I'm waiting forever to grade your work and everyone's late, then that's it. Then start assigning extra work and all kinds of things, having you come in early, and so who knows? Anyway, any questions or comments so far? All right, Leah, go ahead.
I did have a question. I know that it says we're supposed to meet until like 8:40, I think.
Yep.
How long is our usual meeting gonna go?
About now.
Okay,
Maybe
great.
longer, maybe sometimes I'll go if I'm feeling very energetic. Well, I have an early bedtime. I have to drive home. I'm not going to stay here
Oh no, I feel it.
8:30 unless you want me to, unless someone
Nope.
has lots of questions. Usually I'll go to 7:30 at the latest, to be honest.
Okay.
After that, I mean, you're going to disengage anyway. You know, people are going to fall asleep and turn their cameras off. And I get frustrated because I don't see any faces anymore.
Whoa. Shots fired.
Well, the shoe fits there, Daniel. I didn't say any names, but
I
anyway,
actually made sure
no.
to take a. I thought this was honestly going to go longer because I actually had some caffeine before I took this class, just because
That's all right,
I
Evan.
wanted to make sure I was alert. Otherwise,
No,
I want to make sure I'm actually getting in stuff.
I have a long day myself. I start at 5 in the morning, so and I'm going to 9 and 10, or if we go later. But I like to deliver what I need, what you need, or excuse me, what you need, not what I need, as far as information, what my expectations are. Generally, we'll go a little bit longer because I'll go over the assignments or go over the quiz. I'll give you a chance to challenge, because I actually, to let you know, I redid this course completely last year. So if you want to challenge some of the aspects of it, I welcome it. Does that mean you're going to win? No, but I welcome it. I mean, it gives me something to think about. But most of the course is pretty straightforward. I really decided to streamline it so that you're going to do a lot of work. Some of it will be during these lengthy lectures, but you will be doing a lot of work, in SQL Developer. So that's the one thing. The first thing that I'm going to check next Monday, everyone will have to show me. You have to share your screen that you have SQL Developer running before we start querying. And that's going to be you. So you can't hide behind, well, I had a couple of students say, well, it's on my desktop and I'm accessing class on my laptop. I mean, I'll just say likely excuse. That's no excuse, because you should be able to run a SQL Developer on your laptop. You don't need a GPU or some high-end computer really to run this, especially for this class or any of the classes in this series. All right, I did start out by asking if there's any questions. And Leah had one. Is that all you're concerned about, Leah? Just how long? Figures.
Yep. I have a bedtime too.
Says, can we just not go until 9 o'clock? All right.
I was scared. But also the thing, you want a screenshot of what? Of just the folder with the tables and everything, right?
All right. So here we go again. So pay close attention. This is the landing page. And I need you to go ahead and configure it so you're logged in. So you have the ORCL, this query builder here. So if you have this page or this tab open, and you have so let me compress. So it'll look like this when you complete your access. I want you to expand the ORCL, that's your schema or actual database, and then expand the tables. I just want to make sure you have all the tables that we'll be manipulating and managing and viewing all of these tables. So this is really the only screenshot I need.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And that reminds me, and don't think this is a dumb question. Does everyone know how to create a screenshot from their computer? I have high-end tech students even here, and I tell them to take a screenshot and they take a picture of their laptop with their phone. What's up with that? I mean, you're supposed to be a tech student. Don't you know?
There's a screenshot.
It's not
easier, faster.
Yeah, I figured someone would rationalize. Don't do that, because I'm gonna just reject it and make you redo it. So you do know how to create a screenshot, even on your Mac, right, Jose? It's easier on the Mac.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
on Windows now, you have the little
Snipping
screen
tool.
capture
Snipping
tool
tool,
now
yep.
that comes by default. Come on, I've been around 50 years on computers. So back in the old days, we had nothing to do with screenshots. We didn't even have phones. So we had to draw a picture, use crayons. So no excuses. All right. Screenshot. That's what I'm looking for. All right.
You
That's
probably
it.
went through a lot of blue crayons then, right? For the
Yeah, a
blue
lot of
screen.
blue, a lot of blue and black.
But I
I
wonder
have
how long it took for him to think, hey, maybe we should add a way to actually take a picture on the screen so we can
There you
actually
go.
see it happen.
Some
'Cause-
genius in the old days said, wait a minute. Yeah, we should have a way so they can take a picture of the screen and not, well, before smartphones. I think we had dumb phones. Even those phones that could take pictures, it didn't really produce a picture. It was just some gray image.
I do have a quick question about logging in. So it's like I put my name, my password, and when I do connect, it says failed test. So am I doing
You,
something wrong?
you didn't put your name right. You put student whatever.
Student, yeah, for
Right?
username, yeah. And then I put just my regular name. Should I put student 5 for name on top as well?
Okay, let's review for Richard. So when you get the pop-up,
Yeah.
now you make sure you have ORCL here, right? In the name, and where it says name, do you see that? Can't make
I'm
that
switching
bigger.
between two screens here. Let me see. I don't even have that in that box that you
Well,
just pointed out.
you need that first. ORCL in the name box. All right, and the database type should be Oracle. It should default to that. And then where it says username, then the student whatever, and then that password, that or a underscore $, SP uppercase 2026. And then this is very important. The connection type should be basic. There are other choices in here that should be basic. And this CG ITI Oracle CGC Maricopa.edu, that is on. Close the pop-up. Sorry, I don't know how to do technology. All right, so back. Where is that? Oh, down here. So make sure everyone's paying attention now. This Oracle SQL Developer dialog box. This has all the parameters you need.
I click on it, it says access denied.
And you have all of this information in there.
No, like it gives me a lock that says access denied when I click on that.
When you click on what? This. Wait, where are we? In the Oracle developer or in Canvas?
Canvas. Isn't that where you clicked? And then the Oracle SQL developer connection dialog box?
Yes. Access denied.
Oh, never mind. It's a long day. My bad.
All right.
My bad.
That's it, Richard. You get one demerit.
All right.
Just one. You only allowed one. After that, I don't want to deal with you.
Okay.
So yeah, just make sure you have all of this information. The name should be RCL and then the CGIT, just like it is here. Matter of fact, you can copy and paste that into the host name box. That's before 1521, port 1521. And then the SID is ORCL. And that's all here. And once you get that, you should be able to test it.
Okay.
And after you test it, and then you can connect, and then you're good to go.
Gotcha. Understood. Sorry about that.
No problem. No problem. I'm here to help most everyone, except for Jose, maybe. All right. Anyone else? Any other questions? Where am I?
Nope. I did send mine in. I'm pretty sure I did it correctly, but I didn't
I don't know.
evidence.
I'm gonna check now.
I mean, I did a screenshot, not with my phone. I took an actual screenshot. It
All
says
right.
screenshot
You
is the
took a
file
picture-
name.
If you took a picture with your phone, yeah, you're fired. Wait, I can't fire you.
Honestly, I wouldn't blame you if I did. Like, literally for a screenshot, it's 3 buttons I have to press together. It's not that hard.
You can do it. So, yeah, yes, I did see it, Evan. You're good to go. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? You okay, Richard?
Yeah, I'm good.
I have to check.
Nah.
Alan, you're pretty quiet. Are you normally going to be this quiet? What's up?
Was that? No, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, everything's good.
Maria, you all right?
I did have a question on the module. There's that link for the SQL language reference, and it looks like it's a kind of like a book. Are we supposed to be reading those?
Only if you want to.
Oh, okay.
If you want to be an overachiever, have at it. There's a lot of good information in there. It's not necessarily required. Believe me, I'm going to talk at you so much, you'll be like, oh, I don't really want to read anymore. But yes, there's some useful resources throughout. Let's see, where were you referring to?
I think it's a little bit further down. Yeah, the blue one, the Oracle
Oh, yes,
database.
this goes right to the Oracle Academy. A lot of fun stuff there. Have at it. Open it up, and I could give you some homework from here. How's that sound? No, basically, this is where we're pulling all our material. So if you want to be an overachiever, I welcome, and this is virtually updated. So this is the January 2026 version as well. So be assured that what you're going to learn is appropriate for what we're dealing with now. It'll be rudimentary, but it is still pretty important. So yes, thanks for pointing that out, Maria. Yeah. So you're all required to read at least 200 or 300 pages of the Oracle Academy. Okay, I'm not serious, but you can read as much or as little as you can or want, not can. I know you can. You all read? Do we all have the capacity of reading?
Pretty sure I can read.
Yeah.
I ask my
No.
students.
I'm always 80% sure I can read.
No, I ask my students that all the time, and you know what the response is?
But
I can read, but I don't want to. So I'm like, oh, come on.
I've actually been trying to get back into it. I spent a lot of time not reading stuff that now I'm like, I need to read stuff. I've actually been
You
trying
need to read
books.
stuff.
I mean, I even said I'm trying to like write a book too. How can I write a book if I don't read?
And yeah, come on, you have to read.
Like, come on.
Right? All right. So we have our marching orders. I'm going to stop sharing here. I know you're tired of looking at my canvas because you all have your own canvas. So how many things are you required to finish? Well, what's the first thing you want to finish if you haven't already?
Syllabus quiz.
Syllabus.
I'll pass. And then what other things do you have to do this week before Monday? Actually, before
Download the SQL developer
install, yes.
and then the module 1 quiz.
The module 1 quiz. Can we all handle that? Is that way too
Yeah.
much work?
Yes.
Would have said
Maybe.
no, I would say too bad. It's going to get worse.
I mean, honestly, no reason I could complain about that. My
Yeah.
last class, which started last week, the first thing they had us do for the first week was this entirely like big timeline I had to do.
Uh-oh.
First week of
So-
class. So this is a lot better.
Well, fair warning, we start out slow, we don't remain slow. So
I get it. Yeah.
pace yourself and okay, that's just, I'm just trying to scare you. It's not that bad. Just pay attention, do the in-class exercises when I have them. You'll do fine.
Yeah.
What I don't like, the one thing I do like, let me be positive. I like that I can see all your faces. This is the first class. And Daniel, yeah, it's all right. You can stay in the dark. It's the first class where every single student that showed up decided to turn their cam on. So what's up with that? Is this a new trend or Well,
I
I'm
mean,
all
you
thumbs
said it
up
was
for
required on the
Being respectful.
syllabus, and
Oh, I appreciate that.
it
As much as
shows
I,
also, at least to teacher, I'm present, I'm listening, I'm not just
well,
playing games in the background.
yeah, most people are playing games. So I begged and pleaded. This was just in the fall. I only had one young lady that turned her cam on, and then she would turn it off. Fair enough, she had to eat, so I said that's fine. But that was it. I was talking to myself the whole time. That's no fun. I need to see you laugh or frown or scoff or pick your nose. No, you don't pick your nose.
Yeah, I
That's
like that everybody's
gross.
got the camera on too,
But
because
Everyone does. They just don't
so
do it on
I do want
camera.
to thank you all for that. And I appreciate the connection we're all developing. This is just our first night. All right, so we have our marching orders. We will meet every day at 6. Usually I'm here early. So if you want to join early, if you have, well, just because I get a notification, if you want to come in, I'll open up the Zoom. If you want to have an office hour or whatever. Most of what we start off with is pretty straightforward. Just follow my lead, run your queries, take your screenshots, not with your phone, Evan. And I know you're planning to do that. Take your screenshots, submit them. Mostly, that's the requirements. Usually it's a screenshot. You're taking a screenshot of your query and the output. And I'll show you all that as we get started next week. Okay?
Yeah.
Are we going to have problems with SQL Developer?
Possibly.
no,
No.
I just
Everyone should say no.
No.
Who said yes? Someone said yes. I heard you.
I said possibly.
Was that your cat? Oh,
No,
who's that? Was that Jose? Did you say possibly?
no, it's Richard.
Was it Richard? No, Richard's gonna be all right. He's just chilling there. Yes, you're gonna be all right, Richard. Don't worry about it. We'll get you through. I'll
We'll
send Evan
see.
to your house and well, I don't know. Your dogs and cats will probably attack him, right?
Nah, they're too friendly.
Oh, okay, never mind. They're supposed to be
I'll
vicious.
just bring traits and they won't do anything to me.
All right. All right. All right. So that's about all that I want to bother you with tonight. It'll be a fun class and you'll learn a lot. And I will connect it to some of your interests because I've done just about everything. And I still consult and I still go out in the field. I still do some database, both, well, I'm working with data scientists now, just kind of in that are pretty much working on training models and helping individuals understand how data maps to AI. And that's one of my focuses, to try and help people understand that data is pretty important, real data and true data, because without it, this AI is going to be DI, dumb intelligence. That's my saying, and we're going that route. So we're going to try. You all are going to try and clean it up because I'm getting too old, believe it or not.
I mean,
What's your cat's name there, Leah?
He's named Method after Method Man, but he's hectic. So
Okay, I don't understand, but
it's a
that's fair
rapper.
enough. I'm that's way over my head now. Method Man. I've heard of that, but man, it's still. I'm gonna have to catch up. I don't know anything about the culture, so you have to straighten me out. Okay, so that's all I have for this evening. Thank you all. It's been a pleasure meeting you all. We'll have fun together. We'll learn a lot. I'll learn from you. You learn from me. We'll be fine, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Right. Enjoy the rest
Wait,
of your.
yeah.
I will
Just,
see.
Oh, sorry.
What? What's that?
No. You were actually about to answer what I was going to ask anyway. It's
Oh.
fine.
All right. I will see you promptly at 6 o'clock. And remember, you need to demonstrate whether you submitted this assignment or not, because not that I'm thinking that you all going to cheat or anything, but I need to see, you need to show me that you have SQL Developer running on your system. So you'll have a chance to share your screen. You all know how to do that on Zoom? Who does not know how to share a screen on Zoom? I don't. Wait, I did it, right?
Oh, share screen.
You can't do it now because I'm not letting you, but I will let you next week. Because I'm the boss. Okay, I think I'm the boss, but anyway. All right. All right. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next week at 6.
Mhm.
You guys have a great
Bye.
night.
Good one. Thank
Have a
you.
great
you.
night. Wait, Ferris, before you go,
Yes,
are we meeting every single day? I thought it was only Mondays.
it's only Monday, unless you want to meet every single day.
Okay, no, I just wanted to be sure, just because
No,
I
no.
thought it was only Monday, and so I wanted to be like,
Oh,
I
that
don't
would
wanna-
be that would
I don't
be
wanna miss any
exciting.
class.
Okay, classes every day, according to Evan. No, okay, no, just Monday. Mondays at 6. All right.
Some good coffee, huh?
Yeah, he must.
Right?
It's okay. All right, take care, everyone. See
Later,
ya.
guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.